Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And let's start off with how I start. Thank you to all who may tune in and join me today, whoever that might be. To all of you who are already here, blessings and thank you. It appears everything's in order and things are growing. Things are coming together on my end, right, from Jack's perspective of this journey. So hopefully the audio is coming through. Hopefully everything is technically okay. And starting with greetings and gratitude. I truly am. I'm excited to get started. I'm excited to share some of these ideas with you. Ideas of escaping conflict, ending wars, ego death, and the question, can wars end with Jack this Wednesday? Thank you to those who are tuning in, and we'll learn the results together. But my hope, may fun, joy, and inspirations be shared with us all. And there was greetings from one of the viewers already. Have a great afternoon. Thank you, Bex, and everyone. I hope everyone has something to feel grateful about. That is what I love. I know I do. So grateful to hear you do. I look forward to hearing what it is. I plan to drop the link in a few minutes, but let's do the things I do and we'll kind of get the roll started as people find the notifications, find the spirit, and tune in. So End War Wednesday. I love this image. I love this idea. And yeah, it's art. It's creative. The idea of Jack in front of a group, a crowd, in front of the Capitol, you know, and the group, and the message of the group is live without fear, love, and peace. Praise God, man. I can actually, in my mind, I can see the concept of this happening right here today with me, with us. And I can imagine steps. I'm not just imagining. Well, it starts with imagination. Imagination followed through with action creates the results that you want to achieve. So my mind's been working. I've been taking steps to try and bring this image, the movement of peace, into our greater physical reality. Whether I'm leading a group towards peace and love and living without fear, whether that's happening in front of the Capitol or not, my voice is here. I click go live. I do this pattern of going online and making myself available for us for a reason. My voice is here to support peace. Peace and love, man. Love is where it's at. And my heart is filled with love today. That's a question. When I drop the link, and I'll drop it soon, I do hope you'll join and ask, because things aren't always simple answers for me. There's a lot of uncertainties and a lot of unknown variables that are being considered, but without the knowing, it's tough to know until he gets kicked out. Not true. No, I won't place myself in a position where I'm being asked to live, not by my doing. But regardless, some of the ideas today. Escaping conflict. When you bust through the veils of confusion, which is the ego death, The confusion only exists in the ego. Okay. In the true character of spirit, the answers are there. But the veils of confusion keep the answers from being cognized and realized. So when you bust through the veils of confusion, when you seek and allow and release from the ego, when you experience the ego death, that's when you find the answers. See, there's been a path and instructions for this, the path of enlightenment, the path of spirituality, the path of healing. It's been around for centuries through mankind. So that actually brings up another thought I considered earlier today, right? The meaning of everything within you and in the greater world, the meaning of everything that ever was is found only through the interpretations of language, memories, and imagination. Through the interpretations of language, memories, and imagination. Everything that means anything or nothing, it's up to you. It's through the interpretations that everything is cognized and realized and understood. And so, Savvy, I agree. Old Joe, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. It hasn't been very long, but let me just open it up, man. I can rock one way or the other, and we'll get through life. Replace the pinned message, and for those who wish to join, feel free. Please do. Steelman, I actually enjoy conversations with you as well. You're another great. There's a term for that. A term for someone who's great dialoguer. I can't think of, it's not coming to me at the moment. But I was considering this, that to find freedom, right? This ego death, you must let go of attachments and beliefs. You must allow yourself to consider, what if nothing is true? What if you truly know nothing, right? Because what is true? What is true is that which does not change, but we live in a dynamic universe, which is nothing but change. So how can anything be true if it's only temporary? Well, that's where the gift of wisdom and intelligence comes in, because praise God, that's the game of life that you and I are participating in. This game of exploration, that's what it is. You and I were the embodiment of consciousness and awareness for the purposes of exploration, discovery, creation, recreation. It's all this dynamic process of perfection and order. I'm talking about life and the universe. All that ever was, all that ever is, all that ever might be, it's understood through interpretations of language, memories, and imaginations. And hey, here's another. Welcome, old Joe. How are
Hello,
you?
hello, sir. Great to see you today. I haven't joined your panel in a while, and I don't have long, but I was curious about your trip. It sounds like quite the adventure. Did you, how long did it take you? You stopped at a couple places I see and visited a few of our friends.
Yeah, I actually took my time in some degree. I could have made it a lot quicker, but I didn't press myself. I stopped at rest stops and I spent, I don't remember, I should go back and figure out the timeline, but I spent time in Utah with my sister and saw some of the family that I didn't really grow up with. And then I spent time in Colorado with other like-minded people who are on the path of breaking free of society, people doing prepping, right? Because catastrophism. And then I stopped in Kansas City, spent time with Powder Dusty, and yeah, now I'm in outside of Washington, D.C. I'm more in Baltimore. And hey, we've got
Yeah,
another guest.
I'm with you. I like to take my time when I travel. I enjoy it rather than rushing. So the question I put in chat, you're not really sure how long you're going to be there for?
I'm really not. Um, I'm open and prepared for anything. I think I'm prepared for anything, and I'm open to pretty much anything. Hey, I was hoping to be able to stop and visit Daisy, but we didn't connect when I was passing through. But welcome back, Daisy. How are you today?
Oh, that's because the trolls started their shit and I was with it, you know? Because I only offered what I offered out of the kindness of my heart, but I was turned into a whole fucking whatever, and I just didn't want to deal with it.
I understand, Daisy. It's no big deal. I
I do
appreciated
got
your
a
offer.
question.
Please go ahead.
Well, and maybe on the way back through, and nobody know about it, and we'll take pictures and yeah, flop our flingies everywhere. Anyway, I do. This is honest, Jack. This is an honest question. Have you seen what Antifa did in Washington State last night at the university?
No. I heard there was something happened at the University of Washington campus, but I didn't catch the details.
Well, I just watched a 17-minute clip on it. And Antifa took over at the college. They took over a building and set a bunch of shit on fire. The cops won't deal with that. The cops came to deal with that, and the whatever liberal uh, local security, they told the cops to leave, and so now Trump is dealing with it. I would really like to know, maybe you went the wrong way. Maybe you should have stayed there and dealt with the war there, because it's getting ready to get bad. Okay? We know this. We got common sense. I'd just like to know what your feelings on that is. Period.
The little I'd heard was that there was an action at the UW campus trying to get the college to divest away from support of the Israel campaign. I might be mistaken.
Yes.
Well, I
No.
believe,
That's
okay.
true.
I don't know if they identify themselves as Antifa, but
It's trans Tifa,
okay,
actually. They
okay.
identify as trans Tifa, and they're setting shit on fire, and they've took the building over. So
Hey,
maybe if you want to stop wars, maybe you could have drove right the fuck there and
hey,
stopped that.
Daisy. I understand what you're saying. You see a war elsewhere. So please,
Yeah,
just
domestic.
just for a moment. Old Joe, thank you for visiting sincerely. I do love our conversations. And to answer your question, I don't know. Honestly, here's my hope. If the magic wand works, if God works and answers my prayers, somehow, some way, I'll speak before Donald Trump and the rest of Congress very soon. And then I'll travel back to Utah to spend Father's Day. So I'm hoping to be successful and out of DC by June. That's my mind, best case scenario.
Well,
I
they're
want to go
burning
spend
your
part of
state down now. So I'm just kind of, my question, yeah, you just did your shoulders. I thought you were against war.
I am, Daisy.
That's domestic.
Right.
These fucks are domestic war shit terrorists.
What are they standing up for? What are they fighting for or against?
Well, they're screaming free Palestine, and then it says they're against Israel.
Okay. Can you
So does
understand
that
why?
excuse taking a building over and setting shit on fire?
Well, you're aware of past history, civil
Okay, wait a minute.
disobedience.
Hold on. Answer that question. Does that excuse it?
Yes, in my mind, I think it does.
So you're
Perhaps.
there to stop what? You're there to stop wars, and you just excused a bunch of douchebags that don't know if they got a dick or a vagina to burn shit down because they're getting paid because they don't even know where Israel is on the map.
Daisy, hold on.
Please
I'm
help
gonna have
me, Jack.
Daisy, I want to help you.
Don't daisy
But,
me. Don't daisy
well,
me.
number one, I'll try not to daisy you. I'm going to ask you to please stay calm.
I'm not drunk, bitches. Shut the fuck up. I'm not drunk. This
I'm
is a
not saying
legitimate
you are.
fucking question to somebody that wants to stop
Right.
wars. And they
Daisy.
are not. They say they
Right.
have a right to shut down buildings and burn shit.
Daisy, I'm trying not to daisy you. The question, the return I'm asking for you to help me, stay calm and let me speak. Okay, let me answer your question because I want to help you. I want to help you better understand. And maybe I misspoke because again, I don't know all the details.
Go ahead. You did misspeak, but go ahead.
So let's pause for a moment. We'll swing back to this more recent event. What's your views on the event January 6th? You know, the event that happened at the Capitol building. What was your views on that?
Mine?
Yeah.
Things got out of control.
Okay. Can you see maybe a similar sign with the students? No, not at all.
No.
Nothing close to the same.
But see, you went to January 6th. You didn't go back to BLM and Antifa in 2020. So you need to go back there and then go to January 6th, right? Let's do that first. Let's go back.
Actually, Daisy, let's stop trying to compare which side is.
Then why'd you bring up January 6th? Because you you have no fight there. You know that they killed more people and burned down more shit than J6 ever accumulated.
Please pause or I'll start putting you in the back.
So don't bring no bullshit, Jack. I'm here to call your ass out. I'm telling you.
You don't know your place, Miss Daisy. And apparently that's going to be part of our learning process together. You can learn your place, and you're not here on my live stream to tell me what to do, to tell me how to speak. Okay? We can treat each other with respect, and as I asked you, stay calm, please.
Then don't bring up J6 when I ask you about these fucking
domestic
Daisy. Fucking terrorists.
Look at your.
This. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's a typical lefty bullshit out. Don't do it.
Hey, stop telling me what to do, right? Again, we're going to get along better as soon as you realize that's not a good way with me. Okay? And I bet it's not good with you either.
Well, go
ahead. You don't like being told what to do, right?
No, I like facts. I like truth.
As do I.
Truth, Jack. Truth.
As do I.
Don't bring up J6 if you're not going to bring up 2020.
Oh my goodness. Can we move past it? We got another guest. And Daisy, I love you. We're going to get through this. We are going to help each other understand. Welcome, Untrackable. Another great, what's that word for someone that's a great interlocutor? Is that the right word? Where they, good conversationalist? Sorry. Welcome, Untrackable. How are you today, brother?
Never even seen him say 7 words. What do you mean he's a good, whatever that word is?
He's a good communicator.
Well, you
When he
need to
does,
let him talk more because he doesn't get a chance to talk very often.
I realize that. That's why I want to welcome him. Please.
Hey, all apologies. I'm up here, but I have to handle something right quick. So we'll be right back
Respect.
with you.
Hey, as you can. Greetings and thank you. Hey, okay, so
Okay, so
let's
there's
try
your
it.
great communicator.
Let's bring it back to the topic of the civil unrest that happened at the campus of UW, okay, recently. And again, I'm speaking
Yeah, I'm
without
just trying
details,
to. Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So we are at a time where,
Oh, it's gonna fire up. It's gonna fire up this summer. It's gonna fire up.
hey, let's go to a different direction if I can, because I was going to point out how divided we are, and that's what you're saying. It's going to fire up because of the
Listen, I
division.
just okay. Well, it is. I mean,
Right.
because lefties are fucking stupid. That's
Please.
why.
Do you know
And they get
why,
paid for burning shit down. Okay.
Daisy? Do you
I
know
just
what divides? Do you know the cause of division?
I will not. I will not partner up with evil. And the left is evil. They are. You are on the
Daisy,
side of. Day. Oh my god.
your narrative is not helping the dialogue, okay? Because
You
you're
have
picking a
Cam
side.
as a fucking mod. Cam took my.
Thank you, Daisy. Yes, you get upset by facts. And this is what I can help you with, Daisy. When you stop judging the left as evil, when you stop judging other people because you don't understand them, then it gives you a chance to better understand. And the reality is, old Joe, blessings. God sure did make a beautiful world. This world we've been given, the experience of life, it is truly a magical gift. And I spent most of my life not appreciating life, not enjoying life. I spent my life resenting life. Much of my life, I was just filled with anger and resentment because I saw the injustice. I saw the poverty. I saw the violence and the betrayal. I saw those things when I was young. And so I didn't like living, and I thought we lived in a corrupted world that had no hope. If there was a God, there was no God that was anywhere near this world. And yet, the path to enlightenment, which is there for you, for me, the enlightenment is the greater access to the greater mind, the higher mind. It's there for us all. And the funny thing is, the joke that's played on each of us, the joke I played on myself, once I awoke, right, I started seeing past my limitations, past my lies, past my excuses, and I started seeing the truth. I realized the truth was already always there. It was right there in front of my eyes, and I couldn't see. I couldn't see because my mind was confused, and I didn't focus on the facts. I focused on my feelings about the facts. I allowed myself to stay confused. And so the topic today, escaping conflict. Daisy, I'm going to bring you back up, my friend. We can rise above our egos, and we can find peace. Wars can end with Jack this Wednesday. They can, and you can make the miracles happen, my friend.
You don't want to face the truth, dude. And I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna pop me right backstage. You just don't want to face the fucking truth. You don't. I can't be.
Daisy, I think you're underestimating me, and I think you've misunderstood
No, I'm
what's
not.
going
I
on.
watch you roll your eyes and get so pissed if somebody and you like the other night you talked to old girl and she's like and everything good she said about you were like, oh yeah, and then when she said and then and you just fucking lost it because you can't, Jack, you cannot take bad things said about you. You cannot take this. I don't know your nerd words and shit. I got common sense. I don't have none of that. But Jack, you. No, I don't. I don't project. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take it back. I probably do a little bit. But Jack, you don't take truth, man. And you're not going to, you circle and circle and circle and circle. And it's just like, what? And you're happy when people are talking good things. And then you get so, whatever. You're not as loud as me. I've always been loud. Always been loud. I just want to know what you're going to do about the war in Washington right now. Domestic war in Washington. You're in D.C. You left a war in Washington. You could have went out and talked to them. I want to see you try to talk to Trans Tifa. I want to see this.
Daisy,
now fuck off, Steel Man. You
hey,
fucking caveman looking piece of shit.
Daisy, please, before you divert your attention and start another battle, let's stay
No,
focused
that's the
on
only
me.
reason I hopped up here. I want to know what the fuck you're doing when there's a war in your state that you left. That's all. I asked you in the nicest way possible. The nicest way possible. You're the one that fired me up. You do that on purpose.
So
Now
can I,
your dude back here is back that can communicate.
may I please speak? You claim you want an answer, yet
Wait a
you...
minute, Jack. All you got to do is put me backstage to speak. Don't throw a drama queen bullshit in there. Don't do that. I came back quiet as ever. Don't do that. You're a show. You're Hollywood, dude. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you can't, let me point out what's obvious to you. So please just be patient for a moment and try to listen. Okay? Because
man.
You're missing some things.
Oh, who isn't?
What I'm doing with you is trying to have a conversation without putting you in the back. And all it requires is for you to allow me the opportunity to speak. Okay? And so I'd also thank you for doing that, because I'd also like to point out that while you were going on, I was sitting here patiently listening. Okay? Your narratives of me are not accurate, Daisy, but only you can choose what you see. I can help you see things, me and others, a little differently, but only if you're willing. Are you willing? Because I don't need to go talk to Antifa. I don't need to go solve any wars in DC. I'm here and now with you. I have no war with you. Can we end wars this Wednesday with Jack? Part of the topic today, Daisy.
Jack, I know this has nothing to do with what you just said, but you really have to address this. Like butterflies, just saying that. Cam, your mod, and he says, bless you, Cam, they're all fake. All these, what I said, you own Troll Central, that's all these bitches. That's all of them. They're coming here and they're fake as fuck. And you modded Cam.
Well, please,
And
Daisy.
I just want you to know.
Let me address it, please.
Well, I mean, could you let me finish?
Well, if it would, as long as you're willing to allow me to respond.
Well, I mean,
please,
that's what
continue.
you got to do, right? Only if you let me finish. But Jack, you have a hard time with that yourself. You don't want nobody to fucking finish what they're saying because it might prove you a dickhead. Never mind. Go ahead.
So,
they're fake. Are you fake? They're fake. Are you? Go ahead.
I'm trying to address what you just brought up. I'm being very respectful, Daisy. Please notice. All right. So I don't know all the details. I've been cautioned and warned about what you're saying. That maybe Cam and some others from Troll Central have been planning and coming this way just to cause a little chaos. That might be true. Admittedly, though, Cam has been pretty consistent from what I've seen as far as supporting me. So I'm not real quick. Please let me finish.
Consistent over here, but you're not watching him on the other platform when he goes
Fair
back
enough.
and laughs his ass off because you're fucking doing it. Falling for it. You see what I'm saying?
Daisy, fair enough. I allow people to fool me. Okay.
Yes, you are. You're a fake ass bitch.
Holy shit. Actually, I'm above your little fucking chaos nonsense, lady. You haven't figured out shit. I'm losing my patience if you can't tell. Your disrespect towards me is unwarranted and misplaced. You've been disrespecting yourself online. And I know that these people that you're dealing with are very similar to what I'm dealing with. We're in similar boats here, Daisy, in the online realm. We don't have to battle each other. And don't take out on me what others are doing, please. That's been a pattern I've been dealing with for a long time.
Well, I mean, common sense is common sense. I mean, how the fuck far do you go from that?
Daisy, this world we live in, everyone is walking with their own level of insanity. Everyone is behaving based on what they've learned. And we live in a world of lies. So people have learned that it's okay to lie. And that's why we have so many trolls and this out of control chaos and drama content online. Is because people don't respect what is true. But Daisy, I do. I truly give a shit about what is true. It's the only thing I care about because it's the only thing that protects me.
Oh, you don't even have the truth, man. I mean, come on.
Daisy, you're confused about me.
No,
I'm
you're
telling you.
confused, man. You're confused.
Hey, what you're doing is gaslighting. You're trying to claim that you know me better than I know me. Don't fool yourself. Because, Daisy, here's the reality. If it's real, what I'm saying, especially if you stop opposing me and you start trying to understand me, dude, God is doing some amazing things here on earth. And I'm pretty sure that I am where God wants me. That means you are where God wants you. Now, how does God want us to be? I believe God wants us to be united with love, walking
God
with the
wants me
Spirit of
here
Christ.
testing you, Jack, to pull the truth out because you're not being truthful. That's where God wants me. You see what I'm
Daisy,
saying? You just
what if,
said God wants us everywhere, wherever He's got us.
right,
And He's got me
right.
right here doing this right now.
Well, Spirit,
Well, well,
Daisy,
no, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Daisy, Spirit and the divine brought us together today. I trust in that. Now, how I treat you and how you treat me, that's entirely up to us. So I'm encouraging you, stop being so disrespectful towards me. Please. How about we
How about
untrack a bit? You
Mr.
want to change
Communication say something?
Daisy, that's what I was offering.
I mean, hey,
Untrackable. How you doing, brother? Any thoughts come up for you?
Yeah, I think a lot of the conflict, the idea of conflict, um, the attention that we bring to each other. Uh, if you lead with love, it can. I think it comes to
oh
a
God.
conclusion, a conclusion much quicker and much more amicable than um, because conflict does exist. It will never not exist. But when you lead with violence, when you lead with harshness, when you lead with uh, this idea of I'm going to delete my enemy, um, it takes much more effort than to lead with love. Um, so I understand where Jack come from.
Yeah, I got
Um, and,
love, baby. I'm full of
and
love. I'm
I've been
full of
on both
love.
sides of the street. I
I
have
am full of love.
participated in violence before,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it, at the end of the day, I would rather just smile and have a handshake and all this stuff. But um, as
You've
the globe
participated in violence?
as the globe concerns, I
See, I've
can't
been
say
violent.
I can't save anybody, but I can do what I'm born to do and the way that I've learned to do things. And I lead with I lead with love. So that I did not learn that from Jack Talcott. However, I found it, and the
I've
being
seen you.
violent.
Sorry, what was that?
No, go ahead, sir.
I've seen you doing that, and I agree. You didn't learn it from me, but clearly we're coming to the same similar conclusions. Um, Something though, I'd encourage you to consider: don't underestimate yourself as far as what you can do, how you can help others. Because by you being strong and silent and a an image of an independent man, that example on itself without words helps others who experience it. Okay? So I believe the Creator, the divine, has given us all the gifts and talents. We're here to help each other. And Daisy, I put you in the back because you kept interrupting. I'm going to bring you back, okay?
Hey, if you need help painting your ceiling, I'll come help you.
See, you're very kind, Daisy.
I'm a painting motherfucker.
Are you?
Hell
That's
yeah, I
something I
am.
never liked. I never liked that.
You need some little, I don't know, looks like the sheetrock's done, but you might need
Hey,
a little, I mean, I don't know where you're at, but I'll come paint your ceiling for you.
I think he got engaged there off screen. So
Well, then your old lady needs to paint your fucking ceiling.
here, Daisy.
Or
This
maybe you do.
Hey, Daisy. So this comment from the chat: we're all family, the brotherhood of man. Can you align with that as well? No.
No.
What prevent?
I used to could. I used to, that's what I did. Used to.
Please help me understand that. What do you mean you used to? And then something changed. So
Oh
what
my
does that mean?
God. Yes. No, and I don't mean used to. That, yes, that we are all of whatever.
A
What
brotherhood.
did that say? Sorry.
It
What did it
says
say?
it says we're all family, the brotherhood of man.
Well, no, we're not all family, but yeah, we're all like humans, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't do the brothers and sisters thing.
This comment, not to interrupt you, Daisy, but this comment is
When
something that I came to as well. We're sisters and brothers, all the same type of being. We're all holding hands. We're all connected by invisible common threads.
No.
Yep. There's a connection between you and me, a
No,
direct connection.
well, hey, listen, now you're getting me wrong. I think
Okay.
I think I'm answering wrong, and that I think that, listen, like I just said and got mocked in chat, I'm full of love. I love.
I
Got
believe
me?
that.
I do. That's just
You're
what I do.
emotional. You're
People don't see
emotional.
everything that I do. Got me?
Right. Yep.
I follow the help your neighbors, do what you can. I'm broke down a little bit, can't do as much as I could. I can't say certain things. And I don't mean it.
What can't you say?
I help others.
Okay.
I constantly help others still to this day. I always have and always will. That's about as far as I can go with that.
Okay. Well, you can share as many details or as
Like
few as
if
you
I
want.
pull over and pick your dumb ass up for walking down the damn road, or you got broke, I still pick up hitchhikers and I'm called a dumbass for doing it. I don't care. I still do that. I don't ask, hey, bitch, did you vote for Trump? Oh, you're not getting in here. You see what I'm saying? It's not that I'm not that steadfast. I'm trying to. Does that make it easier?
You're
I just
growing.
picked up a
I
guy the
respect
other
that.
day. Huh?
I said it sounds like you're growing, and I respect that.
Growing? No.
Yes.
I've went
No,
down.
you're not growing. Okay,
No.
you
I've
contracted.
went way back in my. No, I used to be as growthful as it was.
Okay. And then
I
what
mean, I'm
happened?
talking about picking up a man and I'm a woman on the side of the road. That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
All right. And so you don't do that now?
Yes, I always will do
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, I'm not
And
sure why
people
you
are
found a
like, don't do
disagreement.
that. And I'm like, I always will.
Okay. Well, maybe we didn't have a disagreement.
People take me wrong.
As with me.
There's a lot of people that take me wrong.
As with me. I understand that. We also have our own responsibility, though, to make sure that we communicate clearly. And both
No,
of you
I've
and I,
never. Yeah, that might be
both,
your responsibility. It's not mine.
yes, well, you're in
No,
denial
listen.
about what you're responsible for.
I cannot. I help people. That's
Okay.
what I'm
The
gonna say.
Great.
the best person that I could ever be.
And I don't ask them who they voted for when I help them. That's
You
my
said
point.
that.
I'm
You
not.
said that.
I'm
Please
not as bad as you think I am.
understand. That point has been made. Thank you. Please, what were you saying? Untrackable?
Yeah, the best person that I could ever be to anybody else is when I treat myself the best, and I fail often.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not still here for others. It just
Can I?
means that
I
yeah,
need
go
to
ahead.
address Cat Rex. This is one person I need to
No,
address, and Jack, please listen to me. Unless you're a person of color, color means nothing to me. And unless you're gay, I didn't say throw gays in a wood chipper. I never said that. And I've helped a lot of black people and brown people, and I don't give a fuck what people in my. That's your troll central right there, Jack. That's.
so, Daisy, I put you in the back because I've been patient again. You took over the stream, addressed the other comments to defend yourself, and NPC the game. Hopefully, this is coming through. Thank you for the contribution. And I agree, Daisy, you're presenting this claim of yourself, but your words contradict your behavior, okay? You help others. I believe you do. I trust what you're saying is true, that you are willing to help others. Yet online, my experience, people who don't agree with you, you are very rude. You've been very rude to me. And Daisy, you have been doing better today. MPC, thank you for the contribution. Hank, welcome to you, brother. And then we'll
Hello,
give
Jack.
Daisy a chance to reply too.
Okay, bring Princess Daisy back up.
All right. Daisy, when we selectively choose, we pick sides. We turn the whole world into this political game, and I think that's what you're doing. Please reply, respond.
I have a channel of my own. I used to have 200 and 300 people watching me at one time. I had a cam come in there and take over my shit. with Troll Central, and it deleted my people down to I got rid of all the trolls. I won't accept them. And this is what's happened. We used to laugh, cut up, go deer hunting. We used to do everything. And they made me what you're seeing. Because I never
believe
used to
that.
be this way. So
Daisy, I'm
your
sorry.
cat Rexes, your bunnies, your butterflies, your cams. Cam is the one that took over my channel. And deleted everybody and did his thing. And I don't lie. I'm not gonna lie. And how dare you say that to me? And you can fuck off.
Are
Excellent.
you?
Daisy, why
Hey,
don't you
I'm
cam
sorry.
off? Cam off for just a moment, if you'd like, please.
I don't want to see
Why?
anybody.
Why? You don't want everybody to see me? What?
I don't want to see you cry.
Well, then pay attention. Pay
Okay,
the fuck attention to what somebody's trying to tell you.
Daisy, can I please I was trying to be respectful, okay?
No,
For
no,
you,
you wasn't.
for this, okay, I came out wrong, okay, but my intention was to try and be respectful with that
I'm trying
offer.
to tell you what you got in here
I
and what they
hear,
done to me.
Daisy, I hear and I'm witnessing the pain, the betrayal, the disappointment. I'm witnessing these feelings in you. I honor that. I'm sorry that that is part of your experience with these people, but allow it to strengthen you, not break you, please. That's
It's
why
not
I'm
gonna
here
break
with
me.
you.
It
Well,
hasn't broke me.
I'm here to help
But
you
I am
better
trying to
understand.
I didn't do this. When I first got on
Daisy,
here, my shit was gold. I had
hold on,
look at my subs.
hold
Look how
on.
many, I mean, it was.
I don't care,
It was
okay?
happy. We had a
I
good time.
And you're living in the past. What I'm
No,
trying to deal with
no,
is the
no,
present and the
don't spin
future.
this.
I'm
Don't
not,
spin it, Jack. You spin all
tell you
kinds of
what,
shit.
I'm not going to argue and I'm not going to defend myself. Okay, Daisy, you're carrying around emotions from the past, and those emotions that you're showing right now, they're from your thoughts. And your thoughts have created all these labels, all these meanings, right? I brought this thought up earlier today. The meaning of everything, Daisy, in this specific example, your meaning of Cam and the others, it's found through your interpretations of your language, your vocabulary, the words you're using to describe it, which is forming your memories, your imaginations. So the facts are shit happened. Okay. And now we're here today. We've got another guest. I want to give Daisy a chance to reply if you'd like.
Hey, good to see you, Hank.
Good to see you, Impeccable and Pithy Phil.
Filthy Phil, welcome back.
Yo, how y'all doing? I'm sorry, man. I was getting my lighter.
We've had an interesting stream so far. Some
Mr. Untrackable, Mr. Hank, I'm sorry, Mr. Jack. Salute to everybody in the panel. Mrs. Daisy, how you doing?
Oh, there's my green card, baby, right there. I've
Salute.
missed you.
Well, God works in mysterious ways, so I'm just going with that.
I hope you're doing well, baby.
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Good.
How's everybody doing? Okay.
All conversation aside, Me, which I never met Phil. So I want to say thank you to Phil, and I also want to say thank you to Jack for the platform. So thank you to Phil, and
You,
No doubt, homie. Salute to
on
you
my
always,
end,
brother.
yeah. On my end, the audio broke. I couldn't catch what you were saying, but blessings
Yeah, you're a
and
little
great.
choppy. You're a little choppy there when you were talking a little
And
bit.
thank you, Untrackable. I appreciate you. I didn't say that a while ago, but thank you. And Hank, I love you too, baby.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
Likewise.
There's that love.
Oh, I
It's good getting
love,
love.
hey, and I love my green card baby down here. I just ain't had a lot of time with you, Untrackable.
All right. Is anyone else
There,
besides me interested in the
well,
topic?
real quick. I'm
What's your
sorry, real
topic,
quick.
Mr.
You'll
Jack?
probably throw me in back, but Cam, my friend is not barbecue. Okay.
All right.
I,
Bulletin
I,
barbecue is not associated with you. Fair enough.
no,
Mr.
it's
Talcott, if you don't mind me asking, what is the topic?
Escaping conflict, tying that to the ego death. And then the question, can wars end with Jack this Wednesday? I've been trying to end wars with Daisy to help her better understand me and what I'm saying, but
Yeah,
we're
but
supposed
like,
to try to
you call me
understand
Mr.
her.
Green Card. So, I mean, she's doing her own thing too, you know what I mean? I'm sorry about the background noise.
it doesn't look like you and Daisy are at war at the moment, Jack. So I guess mission accomplished.
Well, again, I'll ask the question, is anyone present here interested in discussing the topic besides me?
I
No,
am very
yes, but you said you want to end the war between you and Daisy, and I don't see a war. Daisy, do you see a war between you and Jack? Guess not. Mission accomplished on that. So let's talk
I,
about the ego death.
I am very interested in the idea of the idea of conflict in and of itself, and,
I'm intrigued with the ego
and
death. I'm intrigued with that part.
well, death. If you run for your life and um to avoid like a physical, let's say you have a physical conflict with somebody, and you run, you run, you run and you run and you run. Did you avoid the physical conflict? I yes, I think you did.
Yes, I
But
agree.
but you know, what did you do for yourself? Maybe you created an opportunity for a fight another day. Um,
Yeah, true that.
whereas you could also stay and fight it out, but then but then let's just say you lose that fight, and what happens after that? With words, it can become such a spider web of of conflicts versus just losing your life. You know what I mean? I'll leave it at that.
I'm sorry, I got a lawnmower in the background, so I'm just muted up so we don't disturb nobody else speaking. I would like to speak, but I can't really speak, but I'm just listening to everybody talking. Just so y'all know.
Hank, you asked me something and I had a phone call. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I had to drop back out and come back.
Yeah, but just want to clarify, Daisy, you don't think you're at war with Jack Talcott, correct?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that was the appropriate question, because there's clearly been a war between Daisy against me. She's been calling me a liar. She's been calling me all sorts of things for quite a
I
while.
ain't pulled out the old 9, baby. You see what I'm saying? So we're not at war.
Well, I know
That's
you've
an
not.
official answer. We're not at
Mhm.
war.
Okay. Well, I know that you've not been supportive of
So
me.
do you call an argument war?
You've been in conflict with me. You've been in opposition
So you
towards
call an
me.
argument war?
Well, Daisy, it depends on the
Do you know what
context.
war is?
I know that you're at war with the truth, and you blame me for what you hear from
Do you
me.
know what war is?
Yes,
I thought you'd
Daisy,
been
I
in the
do.
surface.
Don't be stupid. I know what war is.
Then why are you putting that on me, Jack? I'm not at war. I ain't got the pew pews pulled. I'm not at war.
Daisy, you're in denial. You
Oh,
are
Jesus
keeping
Christ.
the truth.
I'm sorry.
You're at war with what is real, with the truth. You are. You've
Oh my
been
God.
convincing yourself that you know enough and you're on the right side. And those who disagree with Daisy, well, they're just wrong. I'm not
Hank,
wrong,
I'm not
lady.
at war with Jack. That's to answer Hank's question.
Okay, wonderful.
Jack might be at war with me, it sounds like, but I'm not at war with Jack.
Okay,
Actually,
let's
I'm
figure
kind
this
of
out.
fed up with you because you've been an interruption and a waste of my time again. And Hank, the fact that you don't see, I mean, do you think she's honest? There's no war against Jack? You think she's telling the truth?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to liberate it. So, Jack, do you think you're at war with Daisy?
As I said, it seems quite apparent to me that she has started a war against me. Her accusations, her interruptions, her constant insults towards me. You can't see this. This is what I mean, Hank. The fact that you don't see what's going on, it really is a mystery.
No, I'm trying to gather my own evidence and make my own judgments. I'm not going to let you judge for me. I'm trying to get all the sides of the story and make my own judgments. You copy that. You understand?
But I think you've seen enough.
That's for me to decide I've seen enough.
Right. So when is enough, Hank?
Oh, this is enough. See you later.
Okay. God bless. NPC again, please, and thank you. Why don't any of you ask Jack a question about his contact, his topic? Learn from Joe Cool and ask questions. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, I can speak on that. It's like Joe Cool is an amazing person, and he's also somebody that taught me, or at least explained to me. I don't answer questions, but I don't find myself getting along in these YouTube streets without telling stories, and that means I am very willing to answer questions. I'm more willing to answer Jack Talcott's questions, Joe Cool's questions, all the questions, so that way we can come together with similarities and whatnot.
Okay.
But the thing is, so many people, they don't have questions. They just want to tell you how you're living. They want to tell you what you're doing wrong. Tell you all these things. But
Right.
rather than have a conversation, well, a conversation, it's actually telling stories, answering questions. So, hey, Jack, if you're a cop, let me tell you, I don't care.
Great.
I enjoy
Great.
spending.
Let me remove doubt. I am not a cop. I'd love to ask you a question when I get a chance.
Yes, and it will be beautiful.
Well, I'd like another perspective on what we've experienced here today, specifically between me and Daisy. Hank seemed doubtful that I was accurate. I'm under the impression that there is not peace between Daisy and I. I am quite convinced, based on the patterns of conversations, that she has been at war against me.
Can I ask you a question, Jack?
Who I am, please. Hopefully it's related to what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're saying about peace, like I feel like Daisy has attacked me before, other people, and then she's cool with you, so she does what she does. What does peace with her mean to you? Out of curiosity, like when you say I want peace between you and her, I don't want to have. What does peace mean to you? Like, what are you willing to accept? What are you willing to take on or take in as a person that she may be?
Filthy Phil, based on the context of this live stream, what you've heard me say, you seriously need me to explain that to you? You
No,
can't
I'm
figure
not.
that
I'm
out
not.
on your own?
No, that's not what I'm saying, Mr. Jack. When I say the word peace, that's all
You're
I'm trying to say.
asking me to explain what peace would be between Daisy and I. You need me
I
to
would
answer
imagine.
that?
No, listen. I would imagine I know what peace is between you and her. I can
Okay.
imagine that.
All right.
That I'm not
Let's go
questioning
with
that.
that. Okay.
Okay. So I'm just asking. Like at some point, you're willing to bend a little bit and move a little bit to make peace. Can we agree on that?
I have. And yeah,
I
I'll continue to
I
do so.
I think you have.
So,
I think you have.
okay.
So it's a matter of her willing to bend for you. Okay, this is why I bring it up. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not disagreeing with what you're doing or what you're doing. I'm just asking the question as far as peace, because the word peace to you can be different for her as far as peace, and she could be different.
Filthy Phil, please no disrespect, but I'm not finding any relevance to this line of questioning. Okay, whatever
Okay.
definition you need of peace, assume it's right. Okay, what I'm suggesting is that peace has been absent, not only between Daisy and I, but me and Tommy and Snafu and Paul Unslaved and Margot and my
She did it to
son,
me the first time I met her.
all sorts of people. Yeah.
She did it to me the
So,
first time I met her. So
okay.
again, the question of peace. I'm sorry, I bring that up. Not that I needed the answer. I understand what it is, but maybe I would feel like if she heard the answer, maybe she might feel some relevance and connect to a little bit. But ultimately, it's about her. What peace does she
Right.
want in for her? So that I wasn't trying to be dumb in the question. I know the answer to the question, if that makes sense. It's more about like her just understanding what you're trying to get across to her. Again, I'm sorry for the background noise if I have a bunch of my background noise.
Okay, great.
I have a lawnmower in the background. I'm sorry.
Here, Hank, your story is your experience. Okay, so there you go, once again, wanting to enable the confusion. You want to point blame at me, Hank. Thanks again, brother, for your support. The war is on your end, Jack Talcott. I asked you both. You were the only one that thought you were at war. I've been trying to find any agreement. Okay, and I'm pointing at the facts, not opinions. Hank, do you believe she's telling the truth when the facts show that, you know, this is the patterns of the ego confusion? Untrackable. This stuff you were talking about, it's symptoms of the ego mind. There's something going on here. And I look forward to the day when people start taking what is said more seriously.
There's people that I know, Jack, that are just they see the world in the complete opposite view of what I see, and I can never change their mind. As peaceful as I might be and try to make peaceful with them, when I say the word peace, like I can try everything I can, and for whatever reason, they can't accept you. They don't like what you say, what you are, how you walk, what you look like, what you wear, when you go to the bathroom.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
right. Can we get back to here and now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I was trying to do that, but my bad.
Welcome,
bad.
the Steel Man. How are you today, brother? Holy cows, man. You know, some of you in the chat really helped me continue. And some of you in the chat just really saddened my heart. It's unbelievable.
Oh, hey, Jack. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
My mic was muted, so I apologize. I wasn't like, anyway, the chat and I noticed that even though it's a little crazy and probably stressful on your end, it's quite entertaining. You know, because you're actually like two polar opposites in a sense, because you're sort of like thinking, you know, like on a sober, like rational level. And she's like the exact opposite. And she might not say she's not been drinking or whatever, but it's clear that. So I had a friend who was my old best friend, and we stopped being friends because he picked up the bottle and he became an alcoholic and all that stuff. And I don't know what your experience is. Apparently you have some or something. I don't really know that, but you may know what I'm talking about, how they all sort of act the same. That's what I've noticed, is that a drunk person, it's almost like they're possessed by the spirit or whatever. Like that's why they call it spirits or whatever. Cause they all sort of like act the same. And like, so she reminded me of my friend, why we're not friends anymore, even though we were friends in second grade for almost our whole lives, is because once they become belligerent and they stay that way and they're always belligerent, you cannot get through to them. You're literally trying to talk to this person who you cannot get through to. And that's what's so fucking funny about it. She's belligerent. There is no way to get through to her.
There are ways, Steelman. There are ways. There's always a way. And this is what I've been studying. I know there's a way, but I've been unsuccessful, right? I haven't had many credible opportunities to try. This is what I get blamed for. I'm a life coach who's coached nobody, right? Well, nobody's been willing to try because everyone's found an excuse not to change or an excuse to push me away. And so publicly, my reputation, I'm dealing with what it is, but I could help Daisy. I could help answer her questions so she could better understand, but she's caught in her ego.
But she has to be willing.
Right.
She has to be willing to do that.
Right. And that's where I was hoping you guys could have come in, and anyone could come in at any time and encourage Daisy. Hey, why don't you stop for a minute, put your ego aside and listen? Why don't you actually see what you can agree to?
But see, that's why I was saying that I don't know if you realize what you're dealing with, in my opinion, is because, and the reason I say that is because I've dealt with a drunk person, you know, for a long time. And I don't think that she's in a state of mind where she can actually, like, you know, hear you.
You're right. You're right. And
yeah.
I keep throwing myself into, giving people more faith than they deserve. Well, and part of that is confidence in what I know. I know that if and when I can get people to understand what I'm saying, dude, they can transform like that. Fucking miracles. This is what you guys, hey, you're welcome. You on the panel, anyone tuned in at any time, reach out to me. Test my knowledge. Show respect for me as a man, and you might be surprised by what you can discover, because the things I've learned, other people practicing and teaching and coaching the things that I'm teaching, these practices bring miraculous results. Now, my life, yeah, people want to point at all the problems and all the flaws they can find with my life, but guess what? I'm free. I'm happy. I'm filled with joy. And despite most others online, I'm convinced that given a chance, I can change this fucking world. And I want to change the world, because I believe that's why God gave me this live without fear message.
Neat. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. Guys,
Sorry, Jack. We know you're on a mission, you know, like, but some of us, when it comes to that, it's like I've learned to accept people like Daisy in my life. People that they just like the gentleman that came in, Mr. Steelman. There's nothing I can say about it or do that I can make them change. They're gonna be who they are. In their mind, they believe they're right. They believe everything they're saying and doing is the right way to do it. And I know that you have a mission to change her or try to see ultimately, but I feel like you asked my opinion on it. I was trying to give you that. It's like we can't make someone do something if they don't want to do it. That makes sense.
I think you're just saying things, but sure, it makes sense.
Okay. I got you.
Well, great. You're pointing out what is true. Okay. I'm not finding value in evidence. Is there a solution somewhere in there? Is there something to do, or you're just
What is
encouraging
a solution? Is a solution? Again, I'm not even knocking you in any way. I'm just really I'm intrigued with the conversation. It's got my interest. This is why I'm trying to put my opinion out there. Is it true for you that that's your mission to do? So if you see with your mission and you and her are cool and you guys have no problem, who's to say that she's gonna be somewhere else doing the same thing?
Why
It's
should
no
I
different.
care?
Okay, but it's no different than being a heroin addict, you know. And okay, in front of my mom and dad, I can't be a heroin addict, but when I'm on my boys, I can do heroin.
I don't know what you're
Or
talking about, dude. I don't know any I don't see what relevance you're offering. I mean, no.
all right, okay, my bad. I'm sorry if you don't see the way I'm seeing it. I'm just trying to compare it to maybe it's apples and oranges. Maybe it's the wrong way.
Well, I'm wondering if you're making excuses. I
I'm not making
understand
excuses.
what she's doing. I understand people's behavior. I understand they have free will. I understand I control everyone, nobody. And I also understand that I'm not nearly as wrong as people like Daisy and others have been painting me out to be.
And I'm agreeing with you. I'm not even portraying in any way that you are wrong in any way.
Great. I mean, we got into this discussion, Filthy Phil, because I was pointing out the topic, can wars end with Jack? So apparently I'm the only one who believes that that Daisy and others have imagined wars against me, but hey, let's move on. Welcome back, Hank. It's good to see you back, brother. I appreciate you sincerely.
How we doing, Hank?
Yeah, I don't have any control over Daisy, but I have control over myself. I don't think I'm at war with you, Jack. Do you think you're at war with me?
I'm not at war. You and I, we're not at war with each other. That part I trust. You're clearly supportive and encouragement, and I hope you can see that I'm the same with you.
Hey,
But I,
mission accomplished. We got one more. It doesn't even exist. So there you go.
I don't think we're quite on the same page, though. The same page of understanding as far as what is going on between me and the greater picture, and then maybe you and me and the greater picture. I don't think we're on the same page there yet.
Yeah, that's correct. You may have to draw it off for me because I've been trying to understand for like 2 years. It's incomprehensible, at least to a level that's acceptable to you. So,
Well, you create the standards for what I have to present in order for you to understand. And I'll do my best, and I'll continue to do better. But really, what I'm suggesting is we know enough about the world in the bigger picture. We don't know everything. We don't need to know everything. But I believe we should be able to agree that the economic disparity, the political climate, all of the things that's happening in economics and politics, it's reached a point where it's a problem. And go ahead.
yeah, not all. There's some stuff that's absolutely a problem, and we should fix those incrementally. But there's some stuff that works just fine.
Please, I'm sorry. I allowed myself to get distracted, and once again, I'm engaging with the trolls and the haters. I've put a couple of people in timeout because AMC Kingdom, your narrative is yours. Your story is yours. You keep demanding that Jack answer your questions. Who the fuck are you? Go away. I mean, that's just the point. If you don't want to be helpful in my life, you're irrelevant to me. So go find something else to do. I really don't care.
You know what would spook them? You just come out and say you're Troll Central, then they'll probably say try to grip some money from you. Then they just say no. Just come out and say you're Troll Central, then they can call you a liar for not really being Troll Central. That'd be hilarious.
That's just it. People want me to admit to things that I'm not. I face all these accusations, and I'm just supposed to accept their false narratives, but no, I'm not going to admit to things that are not true.
You know, I will say you've got a pretty impressive fan group of haters. You know, I will say they're very loyal.
Thank you. They are, and they're funny as hell. Most of them, some of them, not all of them. Some of them are hilarious. The haters.
And Mr. Talcott, sorry to interrupt. I wasn't trying to be in any way trying to talk down to you in any way. I was just trying to give you my opinion about something. I'm sorry if we didn't see eye to eye with what I was trying to say. But I was not in any way trying to be putting you down. I'm here to support you and give you love 100%. Sometimes, like Mr. Hank, we don't see eye to eye. It's not about that. It's about literally me giving you knowledge, you giving me knowledge, and together we grow as people. That's no other way. Now, you're trying to make growth with Miss Daisy, and I salute you for that. I just gave you my opinion on it. That doesn't mean it's right. Not that yours is right or whatever. I just feel like, in my head, it's just a lost cause. That's my opinion on it.
Well, you might be right. And without effort, you will be right. But in the end, what you said is accurate. Daisy's got to make her choices for her. And everyone has to make their own choices for themselves. Now, you can believe me or doubt me. I don't know why there's so many people who want to prove me wrong, but I am suggesting that there's peace. That if you actually want the truth, go to the scriptures, the Holy Bible, particularly the words, the red letter words of Jesus. Take those words seriously, and you'll be better off in life. because the kingdom of heaven, it's here. I've been experiencing variations and degrees of heavenly existence ever since I started devoting myself to God. I know God as the truth. The God that rules me is the truth. The God that sustains me is love. Those two things are what make reality. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He is the example of love. As it said, he was perfected with love. As he said, he walked one with the Father. His prayer was for you and I, was that we would walk united with him and the Father, so that we could be the light here in the world, leading others to peace, leading others to prosperity, leading others to healing. We're supposed to follow in that way, not the ways of the Pharisees, not the ways of the Sadducees, not the ways of the emperor or the soldiers. It's not that difficult once you accept it. I fought it for a long time. But others have come to these conclusions as well.
How hard do you think it is, Mr. Alcott, for us to, I believe what you're stating, for people that you're trying to get a message across to believe what you're stating. Like, it might take some time for them to, like, accept that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of time it takes tragedy or something crazy to try to find something or something you're dealing with that you're trying to get over, that you might try to seek that. But until that time happens, like, that's the in-between time.
That's well observed. Myself, I was blessed. I recognized it in the rooms of AA. I was a high bottom drunk. I found the willingness to change before I lost my family and career and all that. But hey, joke was on me. I chose to get better and everyone left me. So you're right. What's been the pattern of the past is people won't change until fear moves them, until they're afraid or angry, and then they'll move. But the thought that came up, that only happens for those who don't allow themselves to be moved by love. If we don't allow ourselves to be moved, to be changed by love, for love, through love, well, fear and anger will become the result. And then change will happen. It's the way the universe works. We're not here to be sedentary lifestyle. We're not here to be married to a job for 50 years or, chained to a mortgage for 40 years. We're here to be natural. And to be natural means to be free. And to be free means there's no battles. Because when we engage in battles, those become chains. When we find enemies, we create these relationships, and those chains will bind us, will hold ourselves back because of the past. Remember what they did, remember what they did, remember what I did, right? And then we play these stupid games over and over and over, reacting and creating new enemies. And then if we don't have an enemy before us, we'll battle ourselves. We'll create our own self-sabotage. It's a perfect design. So this topic today, the ego death, I was inspired by words from Shunyamurti again today. He was talking about this. We're at a time, it's happening. The veils of confusion are fading away. People, through their anger, through their heartache, right? When they start getting on their knees in sadness and anger, well, then the confusion starts fading away and you start seeing the facts. We're at a time when the veils of confusion are fading. and the ego death. We will either walk to the grave with our ego fantasies, our confusion, or we'll allow ourselves consciously a change of personality. We'll allow ourselves consciously to break free from the old ways of being primitive, lustful, controlling, selfish. If we consciously choose an ego death, that's where life begins again. That's my personal testimony. I did. And it follows in line with the teachings of the New Testament, the words from the gospel. We are God's plans becoming real, becoming true. What a blessing it is to be alive at this time. Because when the veils of confusion, when we bust through those veils of confusion, we find the answers. And the answers have been there all along. And here's the greatest answer that I intend to share in Washington, D.C. with the men and women of the U.S. Capitol. The answer that is clear beyond the confusion is we are all one. We are we are part of, individual parts of a universal expression of life here on earth at this time. The facts are real. And the facts show that we are in this one universe where there's laws of exchange. What you put out, you will receive. I don't want to put out any more battles. I'm really tired of causing offenses to people. I'm real tired of disappointing people. But holy cows, man. The world is insane. Sorry,
So
go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. Should I worry about the content of your little sermon there, or because if not, I won't worry about it. Otherwise, there's just potential contradictions.
The content of what? I'm sorry, I missed.
Your speech you just gave out. Should I worry about the content of it or not?
What you talking about, Hank? Makes sense. Makes sense, Hank.
I want permission to engage the content if I'm supposed to.
I want you to do as you feel is best, okay? And because I trust you, Hank. I trust that what you feel is best is to find the truth, to find the answers.
My trust is starting to waver on you, Hank.
Yeah,
so don't let it make you lose it.
So here's the thing. You said we should return to nature, but you also said we should turn our back on the primitive, and that's what direction are we going in? Because it's how's nature not the primitive?
It appears contradictory, doesn't it? I can understand that. Well, if you look at it, depends on what you view of those words. In the context of what I'm saying is, let's go back to the old ways, the old wisdom. We're at a time where there's been a lot of rediscoveries of old natural ways of agriculture, growing crops, of raising beasts, of healing ourselves. There's ancient ways that our society is kind of pushed away from. And so I think if we return to that way, we don't have to return to the tribal ways of being at war and fighting for territory and such. I think it's time for us to grow beyond those things. Does that help?
Doesn't that come as a package deal? We don't really get one without the other. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had that in the past anyways, as a package.
Maybe let me try a different way. What I'm suggesting is we learn and relearn from the past, and we incorporate the best practices, and we create the new ways together, but based on what we've learned and what are the best practices.
Oh, that's reasonable enough. but I'm gonna be just get stuck on that technical specifics and stuff. Hey, Jesse.
Hi, everybody. I just heard you talking about gardening, growing food, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Transplanting a whole bunch of tomatoes, okra, peppers, and some kind of plants from the seedlings. And we're just, so I thought I would just kind of join in for a little bit and see if I could add to the conversation at all.
Appreciate it. It's good to see you again, brother. Sincerely. I know things have been changing for you. You're redirecting and giving yourself some more priority. So healthy choices, I'm sure. So glad to hear. And the gardening, you know what? There's so many benefits to that, to gardening, actually getting our hands in the dirt, to being involved with the growth of life. Mentally, physically, spiritually, there's really a lot of things that we can do. And this topic today, escaping conflict. Recognize what I recognize, and I'm not always great. I see the signs, but just because we know the signs, just because we know how something works, doesn't mean we always apply it correctly. But I've been watching for the signs. The majority of conflicts I find, it's the ego. The ego creates the wars. The Antichrist creates the wars. I want to be on the side of peace, not just with me, but with you and with everybody. And when we stop overcomplicating things, when we actually just settle in, look at the facts, and really focus on understanding what is being communicated, what's being shared. When we can do that, man, that's where life happens.
And those that want conflict will find that conflict.
I've been learning this. It's a line from the Bible too. Those who seek shall find, and that which we seek, we shall find. I might be misremembering the words, but I know it's something along those lines. But in the logical progression of life, it makes sense. If you look for something, you're going to find it. If you don't look for something, it can be right there, and you won't see it. That happened with me with a lot of answers I needed in the past. Go ahead.
And I'll show, and I was a prime example, say when everything was kind of locked down, and I'm a pretty happy, peaceful guy, and I didn't wear the breathing inhibitor anywhere I went, and I never had any issues with anybody. But my buddy, who's very, very agitated, he's always kind of getting into conflicts and things. He had old grannies yell at him. He had like all kinds of people, and he had issues all the time because that's the energy, the vibration that he carried around. So he was constantly getting into conflicts with people. When I'm in the same city, not wearing the breathing inhibitor in Commie Canada, but I didn't have any issues with anybody. One time someone in Costco handed me the breathing inhibitor. I put in my pocket and I just kept walking, right? Nobody said anything, and I just went about my business. And it's neat to see other people that were pulling them down, or, they could see other people were lighting up to see some people that weren't bending over to, that tyranny.
We can really make a difference in the lives of each other simply by being a voice of encouragement, sharing an encouraging look, supporting others, doing what is right, being a good impression for each other. I mean, this is what my goal is. And I know I got lots of critics, but I hope to be a better example for others than I used to be. I've made a lot of mistakes in my past, but that's how we learn. And I've been paying attention. I've learned plenty of ways to fail in communicating. And I'm still I'm still developing in my abilities to succeed. I know I have the willingness to succeed. I have the willingness to unite, and I have the willingness to try and change this world. Because Daisy, I love you, my friend, sincerely. You definitely got to understand that people are effing delusional, right? That's what my mind was finally open to. I spent a lot of my life miserable, angry, afraid, believing in the American dream, believing in the lies that we're conditioned with. You know, you obey and you prepare and you're going to be just fine. That's a bunch of bullshit. You're not. Things happen. Life is often unfair. Bad shit happens to good people. Good shit happens to bad people. It happens. But what I realized is just because the world is delusional doesn't mean that I have to be. I don't have to mimic the poor behavior. And this is what the online experience has been helping me learn pretty clearly. I look bad when I drop down into the attacks and the negativity. I even look bad when I drop down and just simply defend myself from the attacks. So I've been realizing, and I hope you can trust anyone, what's true for one is true for us all. What's true for me is true for you. What's true for you is true for me, to varying degrees, at least.
So what does it mean that I don't necessarily feel bad when I'm attacked? I don't necessarily feel bad. Sometimes I'm bored and I get excited. Oh, someone must have come at me. Okay, let's see what you got. And I just laugh at their insults because they're just trivial and not just something I heard before, and I don't really take it seriously.
You're secure with yourself, Hank. So whatever people come at, you doesn't let you get you off of you because you know who you are. And once you allow people to get you off of your who you are, then it shows that you're not in that secure mindset.
Yeah, the best thing that happens is I'll find something new about myself. So I'm not really afraid of it.
Admittedly, Hank, I think that's been part of my excuse, my logic and reasoning, is that I've engaged with a lot of the haters because I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm doing a better job. And sometimes, like you said, I feel a little joy. I get to challenge myself again. But you know what? I am tired of it. It gets frustrating and old, having adversary after accusation after opposition, just one after another. It gets fucking old. And there was a time in my memories where I was respected, where I was appreciated. I mean, people would come to me because they valued my opinions. My phone would ring in the middle of the night. All hours of the day, people would reach out to me because they wanted what I offered. It hasn't been that way for a while. But I've got a new friend in my life. It's called God. And I know that God is with me. And if God is with me in the here and now, God is with all of you in the here and now. And the God I know, the God of truth, man, that God of truth is worthy of some attention, some respect, some appreciation, right? And so when we go to respect and gratitude, appreciation, when we go to those things, guess what we're going with? Love. With love and humility, that is where the truth is revealed.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've been
please.
experiencing things. So yeah, since I've been making my rounds on the panels, I'm somewhat new to going live and stuff, and I've noticed myself I've been getting more and more sort of secluded because it's this thing about democracy. I'm kind of jumping around, but there's these people, you know, these I won't get into who, but famous world leaders who have discussed democracy as being sort of a problem because the masses are sort of manipulated by the media in general, and they don't really think for themselves, and their opinions are all sort of controlled by, you know, their media perception. And there's this, I think it's Oppenheimer or something like that, this philosopher who talks about the smarter people in society tend to be not only like ostracized, but you know, essentially secluded or seclude themselves, because the masses don't necessarily take very kindly to, you know, new cultural ideas or higher ways of thinking, and they actually see it as like sometimes a threat to their way of life, or, you know, things like that. And so that's one of the problems that, you know, that is actually historically known for smart people are oftentimes have a harder time dealing with people in public, you know, and the masses in general.
Democracy is mob rule. So, you know, if they convince enough people to poison themselves, and that's for the greater good, and they vote on it, and guess what? Poison is allowed in society. This is democracy. It takes away people's sovereign rights and, you know, makes it a mob rule, currently what we're living in.
That example was used to support capitalism as well, the free market. If the people want to buy poison and poison themselves, well, there's a business for that, and that business deserves the right to survive. But that comparison you offered, Steelman, about the intelligent being kind of shunned and misunderstood, that's been a pattern throughout history. Jesus is a great example, right? And in different ways, Tesla, Nikola Tesla, another example of a genius that was just kind of pushed away. And wasn't it Nietzsche and some of the other psychologists, they went through their periods of insanity. It's the world, man. The world drove them insane. I think we're at a time, though, where the common man today, we've raised the rates of literacy. The common man today has a much deeper and greater foundation of knowledge than many of the other generations before. So in some way, especially in the American Western world, things have developed pretty well for us. But that's what gives me confidence, is that's why I see a shift happening in this world, is there's so many people learning from other people that the answers are becoming more freely shared. And different people explain the same thing different ways, but we're at a time right now where we can change this world. I know it. And I actually think that's why we're here today. That's why I know I'm just an hour away from that building right there. I'm pretty sure I got it figured out. Depending on traffic, I can be at the Capitol in an hour. Oh, and I did get a response, just to update. I did get a response. I was refused a meeting through one of the senators, and I'm still inquiring, trying to understand why. But another one of the senators arranged for a tour. So I get to go on a Capitol tour at the beginning of June. We'll see where that goes.
There you go, rubbing elbows. That's how you do it, Jack.
That's Hank, it is. And this is what I used to be afraid of that. I used to be so afraid about meeting different people, particularly, and I didn't realize it about me, I used to be real hung up about meeting people in position of importance or people with wealth. I saw them as different than me in my past. And so I used to feel insecurities and intimidation. But man, right now, I got the fucking confidence. I can put Donald Trump in his place politely, respectfully. You know what? Let me not be all boastful like that. I believe if given the opportunity that I can make quite
Nice,
a
man.
difference. I'm trying to break away.
Really well put.
Thank you. Each of us, we're on our own path of character development. If you can see your life as that, then realize that you're not done. You know, you're well into the adventure, but now the rest is up to you. I started seeing what can I develop in me, started really being honest about myself. What is my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Other people have helped me figure out both. And that's what I realized. That's what we're here to do with each other, guys. We're here to, through honesty and with compassion, of course, we're here to help each other recognize what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses. Because together we can harmonize, we can enhance, we can bring more power to each other. You get the right skill set together, the right dynamic, the right energies together, man. Miracles happen. I think miracles can happen and are happening. They haven't been real visible, but all of the foundation has already been laid for miracles to arise. I know in my life, and I believe in yours too.
Yeah, man, amen.
Because I do believe wars can end. I believe that they should, right? That's what it comes down to. If we see a problem, if we see a situation in the world and we think it should be different, the first question is, should it? What would be the result if the things were different? Well, I believe the world would be more peaceful, that we would have greater prosperity, greater abundance. We could raise the standard of living for everyone and actually really solve the immigration problems. But so if something should be done and there's a solid potential benefit, well, then if it should, can it? And a lot of people say that the world can't be changed, that we can't end wars. But I say if we get enough of us involved, there's nothing that can stop it. That's how wars were started. Got the right people involved at the wrong times. And I tell you what's going on. Sorry to keep going, but I just remember, I understand the conflict is raising up and getting pretty heated between India and Pakistan today, too.
Yep.
You guys catch that?
Yes.
You know, Jack, I just wanted to tell you, I really appreciate you having me on the panel, and I don't want to just, my children are needing me, and you know, I'm going to just be listening. Thank you.
Much love to you. I appreciate you joining still, man.
Yeah, I heard that India let out a whole bunch of bombs into Pakistan, so they killed a bunch of people and targeted into Pakistan.
I heard that. Things are escalating. And as I understand, both of those nations have nuclear weapons. So should things really go in that direction, the world may not be paying attention, but the world could be transformed very quickly. And I don't have a lot of faith and confidence in the current leadership as far as their ability to focus on peaceful negotiations and diplomacy. So I have in my heart the belief that I'm here in DC for a reason, or outside of DC for a reason, and I'm trying to volunteer my services and support as an American citizen, if I can, to help those who claim to represent me. That was my response to the senator's office when they said they didn't have time or something like that. I said, well, that's fine. I'm going to continue. I explained my purpose. I want to actually use my senator as a stepping point to help me get in front of the rest of the American government. I'd like to speak to the whole body of Congress and the whole administration. So I'm going to continue my efforts online and off to find a way to communicate with those men and women who claim to represent me. And that's actually what I've been doing on these panels, trying to confront people like Daisy and Paul and Snafu. They claim to represent me. They claim to represent the truth, but they are not. So if I can break through this wall, man, we're going to grow this channel. Let me do a promotion, right? For those who haven't yet, do the subscribe, the like, invite others, help the algorithms, help this thing grow, because really behind this channel, what I'm hoping for is a movement.
Yes,
Connect.
and you also got over 100 live viewers. You peaked above 100 live, and Dusty didn't help you at all. You didn't need him, so
That's right, man.
maybe we
Hey.
got a screenshot for you. I'll go ahead and send it to you on Discord.
Thank you, brother. I'm ready to do final words and wrap up, though. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll go
And,
first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, thanks, Jack. Awesome. You know, I know that your mission is to talk to all the people in the Congress, but maybe it's a stepping stone to talking to all the American people, and you're going to do that through Congress by getting enough tension where you're going to be able to talk to the people that actually, kind of, push the train to actually making that difference, to stopping the wars, to ending the legal secrets, to coming together as people working together. So maybe it's not the Congress, because most of them are bought and paid for anyways. It's maybe just that stepping stone to getting into a bigger audience where you can actually reach a lot more people. So just wanted to say thanks again. And, grow food. They control people through the food supply. The more food you grow, the less you're able to be controlled by the system. So love y'all, and we'll see you next time we see you.
Much love, Jesse. Thank you
Bye.
again, bro. Peace.
Okay, this is my turn. Yeah.
Peace.
So I don't quite understand why Jack's chasing after Pussy Paul and Officer Snaps and Daisy, but I'm still open to confrontation. Hopefully, eventually I'll understand to Jack to his comfort. But we'll just keep working on it for now. See you guys later.
Hank, blessings and thank you as well, sincerely, for all the encouragement, all the support. And you keep giving me chances, Hank. And I'm confident. You keep trying and I keep trying. Don't give up on me. And we're gonna work out the kinks. We'll get through the details. This mystery of the ego, of the mind, of consciousness, it can be challenging to communicate because it's not physical. Right? It's actually kind of a concept I'm pointing at, and I don't have the graphics and the presentations that might be helpful, but those things will come. In the meantime, though, what Jesse said, that was very encouraging, and I agree. Maybe he's right. And where I'm coming from as a man, I don't know. I don't claim to know what the future is going to bring. I don't know specifically how I'm going to succeed, but my goal is to reach the world. I believe this live without fear. It's a message that was eternally present. It's a message that has been considered and contemplated throughout time, but it's a message that was received by me in this world of buying and selling, the commercial world of reality. Live without fear, where you can buy and own anything. Well, allegedly, I own the words. At least I went through the process and got approved and a little certificate and all these things that said live without fear is yours. So this guy, Jack Talcott, this little kid that grew up in the woods and joined the military and worked for the Postal Service and participated in his union, this little kid grew up to find a brand, and it's not mine. It came from the infinite that offers the answers. And so I view it as an answer. It's an answer. Maybe it's not the answer for everyone, but I believe the Live Without Fear is a message from God for me to share with the world. And maybe I don't succeed with the American government, right, with Congress, but I tell you what, if I can get their attention, then the media, I may get the media's attention, get me on greater platforms, and that's what I've been trying to do too. I figure if I can get to greater platforms, then maybe I can get in front of Congress. If I can get in front of Congress, well, then I can get to greater platforms. And the goal is for me is to follow in the way of Christ, to share the truth of God's love, which is there for you. It's here with me. And I'm trying to share the love that I feel, the love that I know, and encourage. Let your fears go. Let your fears fade away. Kill the attachment to your fears. Kill the attachment to your worry. Kill the attachment to your pain, and let the beast fade away. Because then when the beast fades away, the worry, the fear, the anger, all those things, when the contempt and the darkness, the contracting feelings, when those fade away, then you fill yourself. Let me correct that. By the grace of God, you become filled through your seeking, through your intention, you seeking and your intention to go to God, to go to peace, to go to comfort. It gets rewarded. And I found ways in my life to overcome my fears, to face fears I didn't know I had, to be able to walk with the confidence and the courage to know that today begins the rest of my life. Brothers and sisters, you can escape the conflicts of the world by setting your ego aside and allowing your spirit to lead, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit that will tell you to forgive, to give, to be compassionate, to celebrate, to create. I'm going to wrap it up there. Brothers and sisters, I love you, and I do love talking about God, so I could go on and on with that, but people don't, they lose sight, and sometimes I push it too far. I'm going to wrap it up here. Sincerely, help the program, the algorithm, subscribe, tell others, invite others, introduce me to others. If you think it can be helpful along the way, let's connect. Till next time, thank you again. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all, and peace.